and welcome to this hypnotherapy session for easing anxiety after job loss. Losing a job can feel as though the floor beneath you has just collapsed, and something familiar has suddenly become uncertain. Even when a role ends, your abilities continue. Your experience doesn't vanish, your intelligence, your resilience, and your capacity to adapt are still there. The job was something you did. It was never the whole of who you are. And perhaps there's a part of your mind trying to protect you by thinking ahead, scanning for possibilities, replaying conversations, and asking what happens next. And that part of the mind has had a good intention. It's been trying to help you prepare. And now you can begin to let that inner alarm become more measured, more useful, a little bit calmer. Preparation works better when the body is calm and the mind is clear, and the future is allowed to open up one step at a time. Now, you may already know that people often discover strengths in transitional times that they didn't fully recognize before. And a closed door is not proof that there are no doors. It's simply a sign that your attention can now turn towards the next opening. And as you listen to this session, your unconscious mind can begin sorting, strengthening, steadying, and reorganizing. In this session, you can begin to feel safer inside yourself, more able to think clearly, more willing to take appropriate action, and more accepting of the natural pause between what's ended and what's yet to begin. You can allow calm to return, regain perspective, and remember your worth. You can move forwards in a grounded, steady way. And so now, just settle into a comfortable place where you can relax undisturbed for a while and take a few moments to notice the support beneath you, the rhythm of your breathing, and the fact that this moment is manageable. Now, take a nice deep breath in. Hold it for a moment. And as you let it out, just allow your eyes to close. And as those eyes close, you can just move your attention to the tiny muscles around the eyelids. Those eyelids have worked all day, blinking, opening and closing, and now they can rest. You can relax those eyelids so completely that for this moment they simply don't need to work. You don't have to force them closed. You can simply allow them to become loose, soft, and comfortably relaxed. And even if you were to imagine testing them, they'd rather remain resting and closed. And you can stop testing them and go deeper. And you can just take another long, slow breath in. And as you breathe out, take that relaxation from the eyelids and allow it to spread down into the forehead, softening the temples, loosening the jaw. Let it flow down the neck and shoulders, through the arms, the wrists, the hands, all the way down to the tips of the fingers. And as that relaxation moves, it can double. With every breath in and with every breath out, the relaxation doubles. And with every pause between my words, it doubles again. And you can just relax the body even more deeply. And imagine that I was lifting one of your hands and then let it drop. And as it drops, every muscle in the body releases a little more. You can imagine that now. Loose, limp and relaxed. And again, lifting the hand and dropping it. And the whole body learns from that imagined letting go, deeper, more relaxed. And just as the body relaxes, the mind can relax too. In a moment, you can imagine beginning to count softly inside your mind, starting with the number 1. After each number, your mind can double its relaxation, and after only a few numbers, the numbers can fade, blur, drift away, and disappear. 1, relaxing the mind. 2, softer and slower. 3, the numbers begin to fade. 4, fading away into nothing. And 5, disappearing into calm. And whether the numbers fade completely or simply become unimportant, the conscious mind can rest while the unconscious mind listens, learns and accepts what's useful. That's right. And go deeper now. And as you rest here, listening to my words and the spaces between the words, your mind and body drifting, floating, relaxing. You can imagine yourself standing at the start of a quiet pathway at an early morning. The air is cool and clean, and there's a soft light spreading across the sky. This path belongs to you. There's no rush, there's no demand. It just asks you to take the next step. And as you take that first step in the deepness of your mind, the soles of the feet, the ankles, the calves all relax. The knees soften and the thighs become heavier. With each easy step along this path, the body can move forwards without tension. You can progress without panic. You can be calm and still be ready. The path curves gently through tall trees. Their roots are deep in the earth, and their branches reach upwards, and they know something about seasons. They don't panic when leaves fall. They don't believe winter is the end of life. They wait, rooted and steady, while something hidden prepares to grow again. And with every step, you can feel that steadiness moving into you. A comfortable heaviness in the body, a quiet brightness in the mind. Perhaps you notice birdsong in the distance, or the sound of leaves shifting in a mild breeze. Perhaps there is the scent of earth after the rain, that clean beginning smell, the smell of something renewed. Ahead of you now, you notice 10 smooth stone steps leading gently downwards into a peaceful garden. And with each step down, you can double this feeling of calm, this feeling of deep relaxation. 10. Stepping deeper into comfort. 9. Letting old stresses soften. 8. The shoulders release. 7. The chest opens. 6. The stomach settles. 5. Halfway down, safe and calm. 4. The mind becomes clearer. 3. The body becomes steadier. 2. Deeper still. And 1. Arriving now. And at the bottom of those steps, you enter a garden of quiet confidence. Everything here reminds you that endings can become beginnings, and uncertainty can become space, and that can become possibility. In this garden, there's a bench made of smooth stone, and you can sit there for a while, resting deeply, allowing the unconscious mind to do useful work in the background. And as you rest, you may notice a small stream nearby. The water flows easily over the stones, around branches, through narrow places into wider areas. It never needs to fight with the shape of the land. It simply continues. just as your life can continue now. A job may have ended, but your value remains. Just let that go deeper now. The role may change, but the person remains. The title changes, and yet the talent remains. And when the workplace becomes different, the wisdom remains. And somewhere inside, a deeper part of you can begin to separate the event from your identity. Because job loss is an event, not a definition. It's something that happened. It's not who you are. And you can begin to realize that anxiety is not the enemy. It's energy asking for direction. It's an alarm asking to be adjusted. It's just the mind saying, pay attention. And you can turn down the unnecessary alarm and keep the useful signal. Imagine now that in front of you there's a simple control panel, softly lit, with one dial labeled Inner Alarm. In the past, perhaps that dial was turned too high, making thoughts race and the body tighten. And now, with your wisdom of the unconscious mind, you can place a hand on that dial and turn it down to a useful level. Not off, not careless, just balanced. Calm enough to think, alert enough to act, steady enough to choose. Turn it down now, that's right. Down to calm enough to think, alert enough to act, steady enough to choose. And as the dial settles, your breathing settles, your shoulder and stomach ease. Your mind begins to sort the practical from the imaginary. Practical matters can be handled step by step, and imaginary catastrophes can dissolve like smoke in the air. And you know that within you there are skills you've used before, people you can contact, strengths you can list. And as you move forward, you don't need to solve everything today. You only need to let the next useful step become clear. One step is enough to begin. One email, one conversation, one updated document. A calm breath before making a call. An hour of focused action. One moment of remembering you are more than this situation. And now imagine watching yourself in a screen in front of you. A future version of yourself in the days ahead. See that future you waking up, taking a breath before the mind can rush too far ahead. Notice how that future you places both feet on the floor and feels grounded. See them moving through the day with a quiet plan, not frantic, not frozen, calmly active. Watch that future you speaking to others with dignity. There's no need to over-explain, no need to shrink, no need to carry shame that doesn't belong to you. That future you can say, I am exploring what comes next. And the voice sounds steady, the face is open, and the body communicates self-respect. Now drift into that future you. Step into that body, look through those eyes. Feel what it feels like to be centered in your own worth. Standing a little taller, the breath a little easier, the mind a little clearer. And from inside this future self, repeat silently and powerfully. I can be calm in transition. Now just notice a feeling somewhere in the body that represents a calm confidence. Maybe in the chest, the hands, the stomach, or behind the eyes. And wherever it appears, just let it grow. Give it a color and let that color spread through the body, carrying the message, I am safe enough in this moment to think clearly. And now bring the thumb and first finger gently together, either physically or just in the imagination. And as they touch, let that calm confidence become associated with that simple gesture. Thumb and finger together, calm returns. Thumb and finger together, your breathing steadies. Thumb and finger together, the mind remembers, one step at a time. And now release the gesture, knowing that the mind has learned. And there may be moments ahead when old thoughts try to return. What if nothing works? What if I am not enough? What if this is the end? And those thoughts are only thoughts. They're not prophecies or instructions. They're simply clouds passing across the sky of awareness. You can notice them without obeying them, and simply let them pass. And the subconscious mind can now begin filtering differently. Instead of scanning only for threat, it can scan for opportunity. No longer rehearsing failure, it can rehearse composure. And instead of tightening against uncertainty, it becomes curious about possibility. And in the days ahead, you may notice more signs of this change. A calmer morning, a steadier conversation, tasks completed, messages sent, a willingness to rest without guilt. Rest is not giving up. Rest is how the system restores itself into wise action. And now, in this this peaceful garden, imagine placing the old job title, the old role, or the old workplace as a symbol into your hands. Hold it respectfully. It represents effort, learning, routine, achievement, and even disappointment. And as you hold it, you can thank it for what it gave you, even if it ended in a way you wouldn't have chosen. Now notice a clear flowing stream beside you. You do not throw the past away. You place that symbol gently into a small wooden boat on the stream, and the boat begins to float, slowly and respectfully, carrying the old chapter downstream. Not erased, not denied, simply released from your grip. As it moves away, your hands become free, free to receive, to build, to choose, free to begin again. And deep inside, where change becomes natural, the mind accepts now that the job ended, but my worth remains. The chapter changed, but my future continues. The path has shifted, and I can find the way. And now it's time to bring this session to a close. In a moment, I'll count from 1 to 5. And with each number, you can become more aware of the room around you, your body, more refreshed in the mind, more grounded in yourself. 1. Beginning to return now, bringing back a sense of calm strength. 2. Feeling energy returning gently into the hands and feet. 3. Becoming aware of the surface beneath you, the air around you, the sounds near and far. 4. Feeling a little brighter now, as though you can carry this steadiness into the next part of your day. And 5. Eyes open when you're ready, wide awake, refreshed, grounded, and present. And from this point forwards, whenever you bring your thumb and first finger gently together, you may notice calm returning more easily. It may begin as a clear breath, a softening in the shoulders, or just a clearer mind. And each time you use that simple gesture, your unconscious mind can remember the garden, the stream, and the truth that your worth remains. And whenever you complete even one small useful step towards what comes next, your mind can reward you with a quiet feeling of progress. Each small step counts. A clear choice counts. And those small moments can gather into momentum naturally and steadily. Thank you for joining me on this session today and for taking this time to support yourself through this transition with calm, dignity, and inner strength. And you can return to this session whenever you want to deepen these suggestions and strengthen this steady way forwards. Keep noticing the small signs that you're adapting, rebuilding, and moving ahead. And until next time, goodbye and good mental health.